Amazing, amazing news coming out of NXT. And honestly, I was not expecting this. This has blindsided me, and this will have blindsided, I think, the whole wrestling world. There was no rumors of this. I genuinely have not seen anything about this. I really thought this was going to be Tegan Nox. Tegan Nox was the name I was expecting. Roxanne Perez was going to find out who her opponent was going to be for Battleground. NXT Battleground coming up next weekend. I think it's on the 9th, Sunday. And so she was standing in the ring, and she was really bigging herself up. Like, as Roxanne was talking, it did feel like we were building to something quite big. And no disrespect to Tegan Nox, I was starting to think, is this going to be bigger than that? Because word on the street was that Tegan Nox, they're interested in bringing her back down to NXT and doing a run with her. And, you know, she's someone that's been on the main roster. I think there would be some excitement if she came back down, but scrap that. Forget that. Jordynne Grace just came walking out. Jordynne Grace, TNA Women's Champion. We saw her at the Royal Rumble. She killed it. I mean, she did such an incredible job. She killed it, right? So much praise. And we were waiting to see if there would be any further kind of crossover, right? I think that WWE are in an interesting position. There's no Vince, obviously, so we would not have done this before. I don't think it would have been allowed before. But now that Vince isn't around, we did see Jordynne coming in for the Royal Rumble. Now we've got her coming in and challenging Roxanne Perez. I mean, if Jordynne wins, what happens? If Jordynne wins, what happens? Does Jordynne take the NXT title to TNA and then we have to send someone to try and get it back? It's probably more likely that Roxanne will find a way of retaining and this is just a one-off. But if this works, if this creates the hype and the buzz that they're hoping it's going to create, what about the men? What about the guys? What about the male rosters and trying to make some dream matches? What about a World's End NXT versus TNA? I mean, the potential, this isn't just Jordynne Grace has come in as a TNA superstar. This is what it can lead to. And obviously we had these conversations when she came in at the Royal Rumble. But look what it's led to. It has led to something. It's led to Jordynne Grace coming into NXT. So we were right to have those conversations. It has led to something more. And if this is a success, where does it lead to next? This would have been unimaginable under Vince, but I think WWE are trying to get partnerships going. I think partially because they don't want AEW to kind of have those partnerships. You know, if WWE work with New Japan exclusively, if they work with TNA exclusively, if they work with Noah exclusively, if they work with Rossi Ogawa's new company exclusively, you are really cutting off supply lines and talent lines into AEW. And I'm not saying that's the only reason why they're doing this. But I think that is a factor. I think that is a reason. It does make sense from that point of view. And also, I think TNA, you know, listen, they, no disrespect to them at all, right? I think that they are at a certain point, a certain level, and I think that level is stable. And I think WWE are quite comfortable with where TNA are in relation to themselves. I don't think this would be happening if TNA was pulling in 1 million viewers every week, right? But because that they are at the level they are, and WWE feels quite comfortable with that, I think there's probably a bit more confidence, and I think they're a bit more comfortable with having that working relationship. As I said, if they were maybe a bit closer, I don't think they would want to work with a fellow North American promotion like this. But honestly, I mean, I'm just blindsided. I'm just stunned. I am just stunned. This is quite the development. So there we go. Roxanne Perez has found out her new challenger. It's TNA Women's Champion, Jordynne Grace.